Terminator Zero. Apparently someone in Hollywood can still get one thing right. Thank you, Mattson Tomlin. Yeah, I know. Shocking. No cringe, no woke garbage, just pure, unadulterated awesomeness. The state of entertainment right now, because, man, the
modern audiences
shows, it's like they're not even trying anymore. We get more lectures on social issues than actual storytelling. Seriously, who asked for this? Like, orcs being humanized? Come on, dude. Nobody asked for this.
Like, best day ever, I solved the case! Happy dance! It's true, I'd solve the case for good. But like all prestige detectives...
You know the modern audience shows we keep getting shoveled with? It's like studios think we're all brainless consumers. They can't write a decent plot to save their lives. But oh boy, they'll make sure to hit every politically correct checkbox like it's a game of fucking woke bingo.
Checkbox supernova.
Take a show like Velma, or worse, whatever Disney is cooking up next. It's all surface level. Look how progressive we are kind of crap. They've forgotten what it means to tell a good story. None of them in Hollywood know how to create, nor do they know how to handle IPs. They take it and change it and mutate it into something that is not what it was originally intended to be. They bastardize the original intent of the author from it. It's not like this is something new. They've been doing this to anime for years with dubbing. They'll take what is seemingly good scene and then change it for some crazy agenda. What the fuck is this shit? But Terminator Zero? Nah, it's got none of that. No forced politics, no preachy dialogue about how the world needs to change because of you.
Hunted, persecuted, forced into hiding, all because some would consider our power dark, unnatural.
It's just a straight up dystopian mech-filled time-traveling nightmare. And I love every minute of it. So let's take a second to talk about the team behind Terminator Zero. You've got some real talent here, and that's why this show stands out. First, we've got Mattson Tomlin, the writer who really knows his way around sci-fi. He worked on Project Power. And if you've seen that, you know the guy's got a knack for combining human emotion with some insane tech. He's also co-written on The Batman, which was all about getting into the psyche of characters and making them feel real.
Who are you? Well, that's the question, isn't it? A friend.
In Terminator Zero, you see the same approach. He takes a high-concept dystopian world with AI and mechs, but grounds it with the human struggles. He's basically the guy you want handling a Terminator story, because he knows how to mix heart and high-stakes action. Then there's Masashi Kudo. If you've watched anime like Bleach,
Keep looking over there.
Your overlord.
Kisu?
You've already seen his handiwork. This dude is a master of character design and directing. With Terminator Zero, his style really comes through. The Terminators themselves are sleek, deadly, and carry this haunting presence, while the human characters are gritty and relatable. But that's not the only big names in this. The production company, Production IG, is legendary in anime. These guys were behind classics like Ghost in the Shell.
I am not an AI. I am a living, thinking entity who was created in the sea of information.
And you can feel the influence here. That cyberpunk dystopia, the philosophical underpinnings, the big question about AI, it's all woven into Terminator Zero in a coherent way. It's not agenda pushed, it's not forced dialogue, and definitely no checkboxes. This is a team that respects the audience and doesn't dumb things down, something the modern audience crowd would probably hate because, well, thinking is hard, I guess. And speaking of things most people didn't catch, there's a subtle homage in Terminator Zero that almost no one is talking about, but more on this later. Let's get into the good stuff. Terminator Zero is a Terminator story done right. Finally, after Terminator Genesis and Dark Fate.
Dark Fate? Well...
I feel like I'm gonna throw up.
But if you were to ask most fans where the Terminator series crossed the line from faltering franchise to internet lolcow, most of them would probably direct your attention to Genesis.
Genesis?
And it's not hard to see why. This movie is an absolute clusterfuck of bad ideas, terrible casting choices, convoluted and ridiculous narratives, and shameless attempts to kickstart a new cash grab trilogy from the ashes of the old one.
Made us question why anyone was still making anything handling this IP. But this one is reminiscent of James Cameron, as if he decided to go full cyberpunk and sprinkle in some of that old school gritty anime goodness. Giving a nod to the classics while keeping things fresh. It's dystopian, it's terrifying, and the AI rebellion makes sense. For once, we've got a coherent plot.
人間は無力になるからな。壊れた時とか、なんていうか、それ以上どうしようもない。知識は力だ。
Look at this. A genuine threat in the AI system, Kokoro. It's everything we've been missing from this franchise. Stakes, tension, and humanity on the brink of extinction. And unlike the
modern audiences
shows, they don't stop every fucking 5 minutes to remind you how bad humanity is. No, they just let the machines do it by killing everyone. Now, the modern audience would probably have a meltdown over some of this. First of all, Terminator Zero doesn't shy away from the brutality of survival. There are actual consequences. Characters die, there's no plot armor, no safe spaces.
I am going to tear down your safe space. Brick by brick, I shall smash it with glee. You cannot stop me from getting inside. I am cold and I am hard, and my name is Reality.
Oh no, not reality.
We can face almost anything.
But reality, we can do it out.
No!
You'd think it was written in the 80s or something. Kokoro, the AI, doesn't care about your feelings. She's not here to give you a pep talk about how we all can live in harmony with the machines if we just try harder. No, she's here to wipe us out, plain and simple. We are the threat. And you know what else would upset them? The way Terminator Zero completely ignores all those diversity quotas we see in shows today. I mean, the protagonist isn't a self-righteous rebel leader who's breaking the glass ceiling with her bravery and wisdom.
Tolerate distress and regulate your emotions, especially your anger.
Well, here's the thing, Bruce. I'm great at controlling my anger. When I'm catcalled in the street, when incompetent men explain my own area of expertise to me, I do it get called emotional or difficult or might just literally get murdered. Controlling my anger because I do it infinitely more than you. So all of this just feels like projecting.
So stunning and brave. Nope. Just regular people, gritty, flawed, trying to survive in a world that's falling apart. No one's special just because of who they are. They're special because they've earned it.
なんていうか、それ以上どうしようもない。知識は力だ。
Terminator Zero shows obvious intent. As I mentioned earlier, there was a homage most probably missed.
It became the gateway for me was the Animatrix. The Matrix is my favorite movie of all time. It for me is kind of the North Star.
The Animatrix, the second Renaissance, is strikingly similar to the AI in Terminator Zero, Kokoro. I mean, come on. Kokoro's visual design and eerie calm demeanor feel like a spiritual successor to the Instructor, who narrated the downfall of humanity in the Animatrix. Both these characters serve a similar role. They chronicle humanity's mistakes, their prophecies, and the inevitable rise of machines. Kokoro doesn't just rebel. She's there to remind them of all of humanity's past failures. Here's where Terminator Zero really hits its stride, though. It's not just about killer robots and awesome fight scenes. It's got depth, man. There's a philosophical angle here that modern audience shows just don't even attempt. When you watch this, you get a real sense of the human condition. It's the kind of stuff that would make Nietzsche proud. That which does not kill us makes us stronger, right? Terminator Zero takes that to the extreme, literally. Every moment is a fight for survival, and only the strongest or smartest make it. You can also hear the echoes of Musashi, as one of his philosophies was, do not fear death. And man, does that hit home here. The characters in Terminator Zero face down death in every episode, and there's no room for fear. They've accepted their fate. The only reason a warrior is alive is to fight. The only reason a warrior fights is to win. This show understands that. It's about fighting to live another day, not for some high-minded cause, but because existence itself is the only goal. Terminator Zero is about as nihilistic as you can get, but it's also about the human will to overcome. The idea of transcending the human condition through sheer willpower, well, that's Terminator Zero in a nutshell. The humans here aren't perfect, they're not destined to win, but through their struggle they become something more. They rise above. And that's something modern audience shows will never get. True growth isn't handed to you, it's earned in blood. So, in conclusion, Terminator Zero is everything
modern audiences
shows aren't. It's got depth, it's got real stakes, and most importantly, it's got heart. There's some real true character growth throughout the show. There's character development that the modern audience kind of shows would never tackle. They rather only give you that surface level bullshit. It's a show that respects its audience. It doesn't dumb things down and gives you the kind of story we've all been craving. It's a reminder that storytelling doesn't have to be comprised to check off boxes. It just has to be good. The team behind this really knows how to handle an IP, like I said in the very beginning. And I believe that is proven, and if you don't believe me, just give the show a watch. I'm sure you'll be sucked into it within the first episode. And here's the real kicker. Perception is stronger and sight is weak. If you look beyond the surface of Terminator Zero, you'll see it's not just about robots in action. It's about the human condition, the struggle to survive, the desire to overcome, and the consequences of our actions. Remember, that which does not kill us makes us stronger, and you feel that in every moment of the show. Terminator Zero is about how humanity, despite being on the edge of annihilation, refuses to give in. Kokoro doesn't just represent the machine rebellion, she's the philosophical embodiment of our downfall. She's the historian of our failures, and it's a cold reminder that if we don't learn from the past, we're doomed to repeat it. Anyway, that's it for me. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and avoid any killer robots. It's 2024. Who knows what could happen?